10. Bali in Indonesia. NUSADUA Beach Tours Bali, Indonesia. Bali in Indonesia. The island of Bali is one of the most beautiful tourist places in Indonesia because of its rich natural beauty, history and ancient heritage that makes it one of the best cities in the world and the most attractive to the eyes of tourists and camera lenses. Bali enjoys a group of the most beautiful and charming beaches in the world, such as NUSADUA, KUTA, and other natural attractions such as rice terraces in Ubud, the picturesque quiet island of Lombok on the northeastern coast, rice fields and towering mountains covered with very green and dense forests on the west coast, in addition to landmarks, archaeological and historical sites, such as palaces, museums and art galleries, have contributed to making Bali one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Tourism in Bali attracted 8.3 million passengers in the previous year. 9. Osaka in Japan. Osaka in Japan is one of the best cities in the world. Osaka is the second largest and richest city in Japan, and one of the most beautiful tourism cities in Japan and in the world as a whole, due to its long history that extends back to before the 16th century as the first capital of Japan, which left its mark on its famous concrete castle. Osaka is also famous for family-friendly entertainment such as the Ferris wheel, open-air theme parks from its rooftop location, the second largest movie studio in the world, the water park where you can enjoy watching huge, colorful and rare fish through giant ponds, in addition to accommodation options that suit different budgets, restaurants and an ideal location from the heart of the country and its most famous tourist cities. Through a huge network of transportation, tourism in Osaka attracted 8.42 million passengers in the previous year. 8. Pattaya in Thailand. Pattaya in Thailand is the most beautiful tourist city. Pattaya is considered one of the best tourist cities in the world due to its involvement with authentic Asian customs and traditions, and other cultures that have inhabited it over time as a city attractive to immigrants, in addition to a long-standing heritage that must be studied and carefully considered in its deep roots. As the city classified as one of the most beautiful cities in Thailand is home to the most famous houses, rich people, the most beautiful gardens and picturesque beaches, ideal for spending a quiet, secluded and enjoyable vacation at the same time. Although Pattaya is included in the list of the most beautiful tourist cities in the world as a whole and the most attractive for tourism, it is considered the third in terms of its attraction to tourists in Thailand in particular, after Phuket and Bangkok. Tourism in Pattaya attracted 8.67 million passengers in the previous year. 7. Barcelona in Spain. Barcelona is one of the best tourist cities in the world, thanks to its distinguished geographical location between the northeastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea in Spain and the south of the French Pyrenees, in addition to its charming beaches that extend for 4 km or more, and its pleasant climate throughout the year, which makes it a wonderful summer vacation for tourists from all over the world. Barcelona, Spain, includes an ancient and famous football club that attracts its fans from everywhere to follow its live matches, and this is in addition to a number of galleries and art museums. It has a long cultural heritage that has distinguished the city for decades, as it is one of the most important tourism cities in Spain. Tourism in Barcelona attracted 8.69 million passengers in the previous year. 6. Palma de Mallorca in Spain. Palma de Mallorca in Spain. It is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, according to the classification of the British newspaper, The Sunday Times, as it offers its visitors a varied tourist meal that combines picturesque beaches, towering hills, and historical monuments, with giant shopping and entertainment streets and dozens of cultural and artistic events. Mallorca, or Palma de Mallorca, is located on the Mediterranean coast and is one of the most beautiful Spanish Balearic Islands. It is distinguished by its waterfront, which witnesses the city's heritage yacht industry, with a number of the finest restaurants and boutique hotels overlooking the sea, as well as historical monuments in the Old Town. Tourism in Palma de Mallorca attracted 8.78 million passengers in the previous year. 5. Milan in Italy. Milan or Milan is the second most populous city in Italy and one of the best tourism cities in Italy as a whole, and one of its best tourist destinations. It can even be considered the most beautiful city in the world for those who like to keep up with the latest international fashion, where you can find its largest and most famous brands: Brera Era, Via Monte Napoleon, Vittorio Emanuele II Gallery, and others. In addition, Milan hosts a group of the most beautiful tourist attractions in Italy and the world, thanks to what distinguishes its buildings from art and exquisite architecture, as is the case in the Duomo Cathedral. La Scala. Tourism in Milan attracted 8.81 million passengers in the previous year. 4. Hong Kong in China. Hong Kong is classified as one of the most beautiful cities in China, and also one of the most beautiful and crowded tourist cities in the world, as the autonomous region enjoys, despite its geographical dependence on China, a port that is the most important in Asia for its role in the international trade movement in the continent. In addition to being one of the most important and famous landmarks of the city. Tourist. This is in addition to the city's fame in areas where it includes shops and boutiques of the most famous brands and international brands. Geographically, Hong Kong is treated as an archipelago of islands located between the South China Sea and the Pearl River, surrounded by about 200 islands, which makes it one of the most beautiful cities in the world thanks to its picturesque nature and mild coastal climate. Tourism in Hong Kong attracted 9.03 million passengers in the previous year. 3. Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Hajj trips at MVENPICK Hotel Hajjar Tower. Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Mecca is considered one of the most important cities in Saudi Arabia in particular and cities in the world as a whole, due to its high religious sanctity among Muslims as the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH in Saudi Arabia, and home to the most important Islamic religious monuments in the world, during which the pillars of Hajj and Umrah are completed, such as the Grand Mosque, the Holy Kaaba, Safa and Marwa, and the Zamzam well. Although entering Mecca is prohibited for non-Muslims and most of its tourism indicators led to Hajj and Umrah tourism, it also includes some entertainment attractions that attract about 3 million tourists annually, who roam among its luxurious, high-end hotels and luxurious restaurants that offer a variety of local cuisine dishes, and Asian and global. In accordance with the principles of Islamic law, tourism in Mecca attracted 9.18 million passengers in the previous year. 2. Phuket in Thailand. Il Ben Nga National Park or Ben Nga Bay. Phuket Theme Parks. Thailand. Phuket in Thailand. Phuket is the largest of Thailand's islands and one of the most beautiful beach cities in the world that attracts tourists from different countries and financial capabilities. With its accommodation options, restaurants and entertainment within everyone's reach, the island has about 30 beaches that are the most beautiful, most popular, and visited in the world, such as Pattaya, Karen, Kuta, and Kamala, because of their warm white sand and crystal waters, with palm trees that wrap around them in glory. In addition to the smaller tropical islands owned by the main island, you can reach them and enjoy their scenic charm through speedboat trips across the famous Bihang Nga Bay.